Wood. Oh no, I can't get my sound. Oh no, I'm in deep doo-doo here. I can't get my sound. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Well, that's a stupid excuse, because what's really nice about this guitar is it's a real guitar. It's close to your body, has that wonderful sound. And let me tell you, I told you before in the beginning of the show, but I'll tell you again, play the acoustic guitar for at least an hour, half an hour a day before you play your electric guitar, because there's something so nice about acoustic. I mean, acoustic sounds the way it sounds. There's no effects, there's no fuzz tone. That doesn't mean you can't experiment, but there's something about the instrument that's real personal. Now, one of the things about the acoustic guitar that's so wonderful is open strings. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the good and the bad and the ugly. Well, that chord got the guy about $5,000 in session fees. It's no big deal. Feel the instrument against your body. It feels so wonderful. And one of the nice things about it is it has its own tone. And maybe that's not your sound, but it's its sound. So just for a minute, humor the instrument and say, okay, I'm going to play with your sound now. Now, open strings ring better and sound better than any other string. So you can play a G chord, for instance. That's a pretty straight-ahead sound. But what happens if you use open strings? Now all of a sudden the instrument has more sustain. Now all of a sudden the instrument has a wonderful voice. It's speaking as loud as it possibly can. The longer the string, the more tone and the more speaking voice, the louder the voice the instrument has. So the idea is to try to keep as many open strings as you can. So let's play a progression from G to E to C to D. Now there's a couple of ways to play this. Let's play it with chords. Okay, well, that sounds pretty good. G chord sounds nice. C chord sounds nice. D chord sounds pretty good. But what happens if you want to make the guitar ring? Well, one nice thing about Western music is the fifth string and the fifth note in a chord usually matches any possible chord that you can play. Never seems to be out of place. In a G chord? How about in an E chord? How about in a C chord? Sounds okay. How about a D chord? Well, it happens to be D. So what happens if you use that note in all the chords? Now all of a sudden the acoustic guitar sounds like it's ringing. It sounds like a lot of different voices because you're allowing the instrument to reproduce all the harmonics it possibly can. And the D chord, or the D note, the fifth in the key of G that we're playing, has a chance to ring out. Now, say you add the G note on the top of that, so you keep these two notes, as opposed to going... Let's keep the G and the D in the top all the time. Now, it does two things. It gives you a pattern, and we talked about patterns before, how if you want to try to get somebody into your way of thinking musically, that you try to set up a pattern that you're both comfortable with. This rings all the way through. Now that's in G. So what? Oh man, the guy wants to write the song in E, and going, oh man, I want to really use all my acoustic guitar tricks. I'm kind of rough here. Let's see, E, E, E. Okay, E and B. Now we could play a progression in E using regular chords. Sounds pretty good. What if you want to add some drama to that and you want to keep those E, the fifth and the first, the E and the B string, kind of ringing all the way through that? Well, luckily, since the guitar happens to be tuned in E, play an E chord. Ooh, you could do a G that way, leaving the open E. How about a G sharp? Ooh, how about an A? How about a B? Maybe even an F sharp minor. Sorry, C sharp minor. Ooh, my. Well, the E sounds good. F sharp sounds good. G sharp sounds good. But the A sounds a little too busy. What if we play the A in the first position? All right, that means we can keep those notes open. So instead of playing the B in the same position where we have to use up the B string, let's try playing a B in the first position. Now we got them all. Or if the C sharp would work. It does. See how much better that sounds in. That's the difference between exciting playing and regular playing. Using the instrument to really speak your voice, you have to understand what the limitations and the advantages of the instrument are. The more strings that you can allow to ring on an acoustic guitar, the better it's going to sound. Again, here's the A chord. That's nice. But here's an A chord with an E and a B ringing out. Now, you probably won't have a problem playing that chord in anybody's music because there's no third. 1, 5, 1. Now, that happens to be a second. Another 5. The one thing you have to be careful of is the third. As soon as you put a third in it, now you've defined the chord. If you can leave out the third in any guitar chord, you can pretty much play what you want. Now, another trick